Hello, welcome to my channel, Wing Spiritual Clarity. My name's Wendy Wing. I'm doing a psychic tarot reading for you, tuning in to the day's energies, seeing what divine messages of guidance come through. This is a general reading, so take what resonates and leave the rest. Hope this reading finds you happy and healthy and enjoying your journey to becoming more and more yourself. All right, so the overall energy of today's reading, let's kind of clear some space here. What is this? The Two of Pentacles in reverse. Choices, decisions, not making a decision is a decision. Ooh, oh. Someone's mask is coming off, someone's unable to juggle. Let's find out. Let's get closer, clarify, and see what's going on. All right, Two of Pentacles in reverse. Why is it? I've got a Hydra in my head, and then a song. What is the Hydra? Was it Hercules? Was Hercules the one who cut the head off of the monster, the Hydra, and in its place grew two more heads? Someone's mask is coming off. It's like when you cut the mask off or expose the mask, two more masks show up is kind of what I'm getting. What an interesting image. Okay. So it feels like we're talking about people who, when exposed, they splinter. Ooh, wow, twos. Okay. Well, this is 6 actually. This is Lovers reversed. Choice. Bad choice. Bad choice. Okay. What do we need to know about this energy? There we go. It's like, where's the viewer's energy? Feels like you might be tuning into this. Psychically, intuitively aware of this Hydra monster. This could be an ex. Wow, such an interesting. Okay. Then we've got Hermit reverse, Star reverse, King of Cups. Someone doesn't want to be alone. Someone's very unhealed. So if whoever this is, someone's mask is coming off. They can't juggle this anymore. It feels like you've already made this choice. For a lot of you, it feels like this is an ex. They don't want to be alone. They're very unhealed. There's a lot of this hopeless energy. King of Cups. What's the King of Cups about? What does the viewer need to know about the King of Cups? Six of Swords. Someone's matured emotionally and they've moved on from this. This feels like your energy, viewer. Feels like you're very intuitive. You've matured emotionally. You have an emotional maturity that's being seen. You've moved on from whatever's happening around this Hydra if you've been listening to my readings for a long time, you know this is unique. I don't usually talk about hydras and monsters. So it feels like someone's being revealed. Someone can't juggle anymore. The head's being cut off a monster, and then two more heads, the toxicity, come from that place. There's a hopeless feeling. I think what I'm seeing here about you viewers, you moved on maybe long ago from this. You're at a safe distance is what I'm hearing from whatever this hopeless energy. Someone who did not make the choices you made to get you to maturity and moving on to calmer waters. Someone doubled down in their toxicity and they made bad choices and they're being discovered. It feels like, not by you, it feels like you figured this out, knew enough to be wise and move away from this. There's just so much imbalance here. Impatience, imbalance, immaturity. Yeah, this feels like someone, this is so weird. Okay, this is like Hercules standing in front of the Hydra. You're a monster, Hydra. No, I'm not. You cut the head off of, or Hercules does. You're not doing this. Hercules cuts the head off the Hydra. Two more heads grow where that one was. And it feels like Hercules is like, look, oh my gosh, now there's two. No, there isn't. It feels like the Hydra just can't even see themselves. They don't even know that they're the Hydra. They're so unhealed. Why is this coming up? What? Why don't we keep going in the reading and see why this is coming up? Because I'm not seeing, it feels like you've matured, you've moved on, and it feels like there's something very loud in, it doesn't even feel like it's in your environment. But it must be on some level like affecting you energetically. So let's see how as we move on. All right, moving on to hidden blessings, we have the Three of Swords. Heartbreak, betrayal. This feels like that Hydra energy. This person is just bad choices, juggling. I think you were betrayed. I think whatever this is, this person feels like they're being exposed for who they really are. And they don't know how to deal with this. And I get the feeling, that's why this is coming up, that some betrayal that this Hydra person created for you, viewer, in the past, an ex, some type of betrayal trauma that they created a painful ending is what I'm getting. It feels like now that this is happening and you're viewing this from a safe distance is what it feels like. It feels like there's like all this appreciation that you were actually spared, as painful as this was, this betrayal and heartbreak, that whatever this is that's going on, this exposure, that you're at a safe distance, you feel grateful, you feel appreciative, like, oh, thank goodness, thank goodness. Another three of Wands. This is closer than you think to happening. It feels like this is part of this is happening because you were able to create distance and walk away. It was very difficult There's emotional attachments here for sure. Anything else in the hidden blessings that would help the viewer? That feels complete. All right, moving on to what you're leaving behind is the Hanged Man in reverse. Yeah, I think whoever this Hydra X type of energy is, someone very masked. Their mask is coming down. They're unable to juggle. They're being exposed. And it's not pretty. It looks like what's under that mask is very unhealed. Someone very immature, wildly immature, out of balance, unhinged. And I think you're leaving behind you being stuck with this person, saddled with being responsible for somebody who's this toxic. Being in a connection with someone this immature. Now I understand why the King of Cups is showing up in your energy, in the overall energy. I think when you were in a relationship with this person, if this is your reading, that you couldn't help but be immature too. Because there's, if you are in a connection, in a relationship with someone very toxic, then you absorb some of that toxicity. You create maladaptive strategies to stay in that toxic environment. So it looks like you might have been intuitively guided. It feels like this person created a painful ending and you were intuitively guided away from them, the relationship, and you've matured. Emotional maturity, like the moment you stop connecting with this person, you start maturing, doing all the maturing that you were meant to do. So it might be very painful, the growth as you leave that relationship behind. A lot of uncomfortable lessons that you can't learn when you're co-creating with someone who rejects maturity. It also looks like in this relationship you weren't cared for. It feels like this person took advantage of you, put you in hanged man position, sacrificed you, took advantage of you, took everything from you. So this, toxic. All right. And you're leaving behind giving everything to someone. Yeah, it looks like no contact. You've gone no contact with this person. And then the Five of Wands and Judgment reverse. I think you're seeing that this person is just toxic. They're highly critical. You're not their medicine. You're not their medicine. They are not yours. This is the medicine for this relationship, is no contact, is what I'm getting. You can't try to convince this person. This person is highly critical. It feels like they project all blame outward. They can't even, they've got some wounds that they're protecting. And the wound says they can't be wrong. Because if they're wrong, then they're bad. And they can't tolerate being bad. So this is a childhood wound. And they just can't be wrong. And if you start there, there's no growth. When we learn, when we grow, we recognize, oh, I misunderstood that. I need to reconnect the dots, or I could see it from a different vantage point. So it doesn't necessarily mean that the other perspective was wrong. There are multiple perspectives and ways of seeing things. And if you allow those perspectives to come in, if you're not guarding, trying to be perfect and correct and being perceived as never messing up, which is impossible, then you miss out on the opportunity for growth, maturing, seeing things from a different perspective, seeing yourself from a different perspective. And so what you're leaving behind is someone who's just argumentative. They need to be right, and you need to be perceived as wrong. They need to be right, and you need to be wrong. They can't handle a world where you're equals, you're in a partnership. This is someone very toxic. Doesn't know how to process, and so they don't know how to grow. They can't, if you can't have any criticism, anything you have, then where's the room for improvement? Where's any self-evaluation? It's just exhausting. And you'll exhaust yourself trying to convince this person to change. All right. How to get the most of this energy is the Two of Wands. What a beautiful picture. She's got all those flowers on her back. Oh, I love that. Two of Wands. Oh, no, it's 10 of Wands. Jeez. 10 of Wands. That makes a lot more sense. I was like, I don't feel the Two of Wands. 10 of Wands. Look at all those flowers. So it feels like there's some type of harvest. It is exhausting. Like, she's burdened. She's hunched over by the burden of all the flowers that she's picked. But it feels like, what a harvest. What a beautiful... So you might be feeling both. About ready to reach a finishing line. A harvest coming in. Reaping something really wonderful. And also exhausted while you're doing it. This feels like good exhaustion. All right. How does the viewer get the most of this energy? How does the viewer get the most of this? 10 of Wands. Ooh, here's the Devil again. No, first time. Interesting. Interesting in both of the first cards coming out in this how to get the most of the energy, that I'm missing, kind of not seeing things. So there might be something here of seeing, you might be thinking you're at the beginning of something where you're at the end. Okay, someone toxic, Hanged Man reverse again, feels like they want to come in. Okay, because you're having a harvest. You're doing really well. And it feels like this Hydra person just can't have you succeeding. It doesn't go with their story. Whatever story they've created about themselves and about you, viewer, they can't handle you having some success, some harvest that you're bringing in. So it feels like they want to create some type of injustice for you. Around your work, it feels like communication, wanting to block you, wanting you, in what world do you have the success? Like, this person really can't perceive anything that they appreciate about you. They have just projected all that they can't have, their shadows, onto you. how were you able to reconnect the dots and figure out how to create this abundance for yourself? Feels like, for some of you, it feels like they might come in and try to communicate with the people you work with. Trying to stir the pot, trying to turn people against you with some type of communication. Let me see. What is this person trying to do? What's the communication? Yeah, they want you abandoned. They're feeling very abandoned. Challenged by their immaturity. Challenged that you know what? This type of energy, and everybody who's in this very stuck, I need to be perfect. They can't grow. They can't see themselves other than perfect. It feels like people have matured around them. Like everyone knows something that they don't know. That everybody can see their blind spots that they can't even see about themselves. It's scary. It's terrifying. And yet they're doubling down on their toxic strategies is what I'm tuned into. Instead of admitting fault or taking an examination and looking within, they're doubling down on toxic behaviors. So instead of going within, this person is still trying to affect how people perceive you. That's it. They can't control you, so they want to control how people perceive you. They want people to abandon you, to not invest in you. They want you to feel this is financial. So it looks like this person's trying to affect your work. Which kind of gives me a hint as to where they're suffering right now. Feels like this person might be having financial issues, and they've got a habit of projecting their stuff onto you, viewer. So whatever I think that's might be a tell. Whatever this person says to you about you and what you're doing, that is they're telling on themselves. So this person coming in trying to affect, it feels like they're jealous of your abundance, your success after leaving them. I don't think you were supposed to be successful. I think you were supposed to be miserable in whatever position they're in. That was a plan. And instead you matured, used your intuition, and left, and now you're having a harvest, and they just can't have that. I don't feel like this person can really affect you. It feels like they're rushing in to try to affect something. It's not a plan. It's just it's not. I don't sense that there's any plot here. It feels like someone who's just unhinged coming in, someone immature. Someone who just can't tolerate you being in a better position than they are, and they want to change that, but it feels like they can't affect you with the Chariot. This is Cancer energy, which we're in now, and it feels like you're making moves in July in this Cancerian energy. You've moved on. This person can't affect you unless you agree to it. Wow. All right. What's supporting you is the Emperor reversed. This is toxic leadership. Emperor upright is fine, but Emperor reversed is someone very controlling, very manipulative. Someone who does not change within and feels that they need to control and manipulate their environments. That's how they're going to keep themselves safe. I need everyone to perceive me as perfect so I can feel comfortable. This is Emperor's New Clothes type of energy. Someone who creates a false reality and controls a dictator. And everybody else has to enable this person and tell them what they want to hear about themselves while they're, ooh, Two of Pentacles reverse. If you recall, that's where we started. The overall energy is Two of Pentacles in reverse. So it's validating this person, this manipulative dictator, bad boss, controlling. Their mask is coming off. They've just made too many bad choices. No responsibility, no accountability, wildly immature. And it feels like people are seeing this. It's too many people have matured, and there are too many of these controlling types that are stuck in an old way of dictating how people perceive things, how they see. Yeah. And it looks like this energy is seeing you choosing to be happy, but there's a lot of ending of cycles type of numbers coming up. Wow. Yeah. That's what, another two of wands. A lot of twos, a lot of choices here. It looks like you've moved on. You're protected, you're standing your ground, and your back's turned. Seven of Wands. It feels like this person and their bad choices can't affect you unless you've got a story or a belief that they still can. Feels like you're focusing on your happiness, on whatever you've been creating. I'm seeing a message of no contact with this person. Feels like you're having a whole other life, like you're not allowing this person and the experiences you've had with them to ruin your life. It feels like you're like, I'm going to allow what this experience has to teach me, to create wisdom within me so I make wise choices. And it feels like there's something that you're very excited about, maybe around your work, something very passionate, something worth protecting. I'm not getting that this person can affect change. All right. Unless you want or you still have beliefs that they can. I think what would help is this person, nobody can co-create with my energy without my permission. All right. What to be mindful of is the Five of Wands. Yeah, this person's Five of Wands also came up in what you're leaving behind. Drama, chaos. For some of you, this person coming in, it feels like you have healed a lot. You found a level of peace. Maybe for some of you, a level of peace that you've never experienced, maybe for the first time in your life. And for some of you, it's a little boring. If you've had a whole life where you've been in fight or flight and a lot of drama, peace can feel a little boring for a while, and then it finally sets in, and it's wonderful. So this person coming in bringing drama, they're trying to inflame you, get you fired up so you will re-engage. If you re-engage in this energy, you start receiving the karma. You get in, when you connect with this person, you start Yeah. Okay. They're trying to cause some type of upset in you. Trying to get your... Yeah, they're trying to come in and bully you. 5 of Wands, 5 of Swords. I think in the past they were really able to bully you and make themselves feel better. Get you discombobulated, get you in this drama, in this chaos, in a fight. And it feels like they were really able to hurt you. And then they would feel better, more powerful. They wouldn't have to deal with the emotions and the problems they had. They would just trigger you, and then you would fix and take on whatever they were feeling, so they didn't have to. And they felt powerful doing it. Not having to process their emotions, their difficulties. Always having viewer uplift them, tell them they're wonderful, that they didn't do anything wrong, that they're perfect the way they are. And so kind of enabling this behavior. So this person is trying to, if they can't bully you and get you to go back into this hanged man position and take care of them, then it feels like they're going to punish you and make you pay. It feels like they're wanting to try to, I don't know, communicate something around your business. Boy, another, all right. So we've got Tower, 2 of Swords, 8 of Swords. The Tower is for this person. They're still blinded. They're confused. They're still programmed, and they can't really see. You have, it's shocking to them because it feels like any outcome and advice, what I'm seeing is this person can't affect any change on you. And it's confusing. How are you able to change? How are you able, because this person is stuck at Page of Cups with their back turned. This is their challenge to mature, and you're showing up as King of Cups. Outwardly, very mature. You're stable, mature, you've moved on, you're very intuitive. And this person's trying to come in their Hydra way and try to sow seeds of chaos, try to get you to feel their wrath, but instead you've matured. It feels like this person is exposing themselves because everybody else around them has matured and grown. Not everybody, but a lot. And so this type of behavior is seen for what it is. And they can't affect change, and it's just shocking. They just don't, it collapses their world. Their belief system, it doesn't compute. I'm getting this like, kind of like the Grinch at the end when, he's sure that he's affected the Who's Christmas and that they're going to be miserable and unhappy. And he's on that hilltop and he just can't wait to see the boo-hooing faces. And instead, the Who's come out of their house and they decide, they choose to be happy despite all their toys, all their celebration, all their things, what the Grinch thinks is what makes them happy, and instead they come out singing Yahoo do re Yahoo do. And he's baffled. He's like, how? This should have done it. And instead he's kind of this person is showing like who they really are. They're cruel. They're mean. They're mean-spirited. Instead of working on themselves, they're still trying to affect some type of toxic change on you. It's just telling. So, all right, I'm going to continue on and do an extended reading. So if this has resonated and you want to keep going, I'm about halfway through. On Patreon, I will be looking at health, relationships, creativity, new opportunities, and career and finance. So I'll see you over there. And if not, have a great rest of your day. Take care.